All right, y'all. You guys gonna behave for me? Please tell me you're gonna behave for me. Might? That goes for you too. Mamai. Okay. Let's hope that this works. I just grabbed a chair and I moved my table up further a little bit. Just because I felt like I felt like I needed something to look at in the back, so now I figured maybe the couch can be the background. And I put some I changed my light and made it more yellow so that I don't look, I mean, I'm pale, so there's nothing I can do about that, but at least I'm a little less pale. So, and I'm closer up to the camera. Do y'all even like my face? Like, do y'all like my face? Let's be real. I don't know. If y'all hate this and you want me to just go back to the couch and go, bitch, move the hell back. I don't want to look at you up close. Let me know. I'll go back to the previous setup. But what's good, y'all? Welcome back. I am back. This is Yvonne Ventura here, dialing in from Earth. Okay, I'm having an off day because I'm sad about the election. And I figured I should just come on here and do something that would make people laugh because I feel like we need that right now in these times. So, y'all want to walk with me? You know him. You love him. Orpheus from the last book. So, Monster Romance has gotten to me. I loved that book so much that I decided right away, expeditiously, I said, I need to start on book 2. So, today we're going to be doing a Ratchet retelling on A Soul to Heal by Opal Reyne. Couple disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1. This is a retelling. This is not a review. And when I say retelling, that means that Yvonne, me, yes, me, is going to tell you as close to beat for beat what happens in this book. So if you don't like that, if you don't want any spoilers, again, spoiler alert. This is a spoiler alert. I will be spoiling things for you. Proceed with caution. If you are like me and you need to know what kind of tropes there are going to be, you need to know kind of the general plot of the book if you decide it's even worth your time, welcome. Number 2. Oh my god, my nails. Number 2. This is a Ratchet retelling. And by Ratchet, I mean she's not put together. She is messy. She's got notes. But the notes don't make any damn sense. No, they do not. No, they do not. Because even when I write notes, I be telling you guys this shit out of sequence. And that's probably going to happen today, even though I just finished this book yesterday. And then should I also throw in there, I'm also an audiobook listener, so like, I don't know, does that make a difference? Y'all let me know. It doesn't make a difference. I personally enjoy both formats. My preference is audiobooks though, because, you know, I like to listen to these when I'm at work. I don't know if I should have confessed to that, because these books, they're smutty. Disclaimer number 3, these are some dirty books. These are some dirty, nasty, grimy books where they get down and dirty together. And yes, this is about monsters. No, I mean, yes, they're humanoid, but like not really. So like if you're not into monster romance, maybe this one's not the video for you. Maybe stay tuned for next video. I have another book that I have a couple books that I think I want to do a retelling on. One, I want to give Mexican Gothic another listen so that I can tell you guys what happens in that book so that you don't have to read or listen to it and experience what I experienced because the cover was cool, and because I'm Mexican, I was drawn to it because it's called Mexican Gothic. And you know me, I'm a black cat bitch. Like, I like spooky shit. Do not be deceived by the title of the book. Okay. The other one I'm thinking about is one that keeps getting recommended to me on Hoopla because I'm a nasty bitch and I keep listening to these gross books. They're not gross. I shouldn't call them gross. Sexy books. I listen to these smutty, sexy books. It's a book called Priest, which is exactly what you think it is. It's about a priest. Oh, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell because I'm going to hell because that book excites me. Okay, y'all let me know. Do y'all want me to re-listen to Mexican Gothic, or do y'all want to go on a ride with me and listen to Priest, and then I'll tell you guys what happens in that book? I think I've already made my decision, but still, I mean, they're both on the roster. So just stay tuned. If you're not wanting monsters, just know I'm going to go back to people. Okay? Going back to people. Thank you all for joining me on this lovely wild ride. We are at 34 subscribers. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Because if we get to 100 subscribers, 100, your girl is going to eat a dozen tacos in a sitting. And potentially, I'm already thinking, the content, I may or may not have a guest on here to embarrass me on this public forum and talk about embarrassing stories that have to do with me. Get me to 100 subscribe. Get me to 100 subs, yo. If you want to see that or hear that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Disclaimer's done. Intro's done. Let's jump into the madness. If you will all remember from my last video, if y'all don't remember what happened in my last video, go watch it because I put in a lot of hard work for that and it was great. I had fun. I'm not good at marketing my old videos, but please give it some love. I worked really hard on that and I had a ball. I had a ball talking about that book. But if you don't want to go back, we are in this world where we have these beasts called mavkas that are born as little black blobs, and they are voraciously hungry, and so they eat animals and humans, and then they start gaining like humanity. They start turning humanoid, but they also have like animal skulls, horns, antlers, or what have you, and they're just monsters. They are 7.5 foot tall creatures. They are not demons because demons exist in this universe. They are also not of the human world. They are labeled as other. And these mavkas, humans call them Duskwalkers. So this is why this is called the Duskwalker Bride series. In book 1, you'll remember Mr. Orpheus. He got himself a wife. He got wifed up with beautiful Rhea. Love them. So he and Rhea are in this book, but they are side characters. This book is going to revolve around the unnamed Duskwalker that I briefly mentioned in video number 1, the last video, where we talked about A Soul to, oh my god, what's that book called? A Soul to Keep. In A Soul to Keep, he is unnamed. We find out toward the end of the last book that these mavkas are actually siblings because they belong to the witch bitch. The owl witch. But because it's fun, they belong to the witch bitch. And the veil, even though that's the world they live in, is also a being of its own. So the veil and the witch bitch are their parents. Okay, so then Rhea found that out because the witch bitch was like, hey, these are my sons. Like Nicki Minaj would say, these bitches are my sons. And I'm assuming Rhea told them because they in this book, they are kind of like living like a happy family. So there's that. But yeah, I think that's enough world building. I know that didn't make any damn sense. I'm sorry. But if you want some good world building, listen to or watch the last video, because I took my time explaining how this world works so that I didn't have to take too long explaining how the world works here. We good? Okay, we're good. So let's start the story off with our human protagonist. Her name is Delora. Now she is big and beautiful and delicious. I don't know why I did that. Delora is a plus size woman. She is married to some hater bitch, and he sucks donkey dick. Okay. He's a terrible person. He is emotionally abusive. He is manipulative. He is an all-around dickwad. He fat shames her, calls her stupid, tells her that everything she's into is dumb and not worth her time, and he's not into her. So we start this book out with Delora being miserable. Delora is miserable. She's been married to this asshole for however long she's been married to him. She's not in a good place mentally, emotionally. And she comes home one day and he is buried in another woman. That is right, y'all. This hater bitch is cheating on her. So what does a girl like Delora do? Delora kills him. She kills them both. She murks them both. She says, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this broad. All of you. This everything sucks. And in a fit of rage, she kills him. That's right, Delora. Kill him. Murder. Kill him. That's what cheaters deserve. Kill him. Kill him. So she does what needs to be done. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of in the middle of doing something at work. So some of the details here get fuzzy for me. But the point is, Delora ends up getting picked up, and did they tie her up? I don't freaking remember. But the point is, the village is sick of her big ass. So they pick her up and they're like, no, you killed some people and now you must die. We have to execute you. Even though she had just cause. She did. So anyway, they pick her up and they're like, I don't remember who does this, but the point is somebody is like, Delora, we've had it with your ass. And they throw her off a cliff. Now, Miss Delora, okay, let me get serious real quick. So this story does address like poor mental health and the road to recovery. So Delora herself is in a really bad place mentally, meaning that she does not necessarily have zest for life anymore. So even as they're like carrying her to throw her off a cliff, she's not necessarily like upset about it. Like she's almost ready to meet her end. And it does say in the book that she just wants them to hurry up and get it over with before she starts to feel afraid of what's gonna happen, or like what death is. So this girl, poor thing, pobrecita, she is not doing good, Miss Delora, diva girl. So they throw Delora off a cliff. Does she die? No, because we're only 30 minutes into this book. What does happen? Let's move. Let's go down to the veil. So this is in the human world. She's getting thrown off the cliff. So now let's pause. She's in the sky. She's in the sky. Okay. We switch to talk about No Name, which is what he's being called right now. The Duskwalker or the Mavka. Orpheus' stupid baby brother. you know, because he's hella dumb. So the stupid baby brother, he lives in a cave on the outskirts of the Vale, so in between the Vale and the human lands. And No Name is just minding his business. He's like walking around. He is kind of he's fixated on a couple things. He's fixated on the fact that Orpheus has a girl named Rhea who clearly loves him very much, and No Name really wants a companion like that. Like he wants a human. And so it talks about how um Orpheus and Rhea have been giving him advice on what to do if and when he finds a human that is willing to put up with his dumbass. Because remember, he's an idiot. He's a certified idiot. So he's dumb, and they're trying to help him out because they're like, oh, poor thing, this idiot, this chump's probably never going to find himself a woman. So he's set on that. He wants a companion really bad. And the other thing that he's really desperate for is a name. I didn't really talk about him in last video because I was telling the story of Orpheus and Rhea. But now that we're talking about No Name, in the last book, A Soul to Keep, there's a scene where Rhea explains to No Name what a name is. And No Name asks her if she would name him because he doesn't have a name and Orpheus has a name and he wants one because his brother has one and he thinks that names are really special. And Rhea's like, the hell you talking about? I don't know you. I'm not going to name you. That's not my job. Because, you know, Rhea doesn't care. Rhea don't give a F what anybody says or thinks. So Rhea's like, hell no, I'm not naming you. And so since then, No Name has been sad and lonely. He's lonely, knees on the concrete. He's lonely. That song is called Lonely by Demi Lovato featuring Lil Wayne, in case, you know, you're interested. Okay, so he's walking around. Mike, get this. Mama girl, she don't care. No Name is walking around. He's walking this lonely street on the boulevard of broken dreams. He's walking by himself. How many times am I going to say he's walking? He's walking. He's walking here. Minding his damn business. So now let's unpause the movie. Dolores falling from the sky. And guess what happens? No Name breaks her fall. He's literally just minding his business. And she's going, rah, boom. And No Name loses consciousness. And he comes to, we don't know how much time has passed, but he comes to and he wakes up realizing that a beautiful, bold, thick, with 3 C's, woman with quadruple D's has fallen out of the sky. And he's like, oh my God, my prayers have been answered. Because remember, he's been wanting a woman. So this woman falls on him. And granted, her limbs are broken. She's like, what? It was a big fall. So she's got broken limbs and shit. And he looks at her immediately and he's like, this is my woman. This is the one for me. So, remember, when they eat people, they gain more humanity, and potentially if the being that they eat has magic, then they get magic too. So at some point, No Name ate some people that had magic. So he knows how to do some like simple spells like Orpheus. So he casts a spell and he takes Dolores' wounds from her and takes them on himself, because he, as a Duskwalker or a Mafka, heals faster than a human. So he takes them on. He brings Delora back to his cave. She's unconscious. And then she wakes up And she's not afraid, she's just confused, and she's like, what the hell am I doing here? I thought I died. So at first she's like, thinks she's dead, but then she's like, no, I'm not dead. And then she like fully like meets No Name, and she's not like terrified of him. She's just like, oh, you're a Duskwalker. And he goes, yeah, I'm one of those. And she's like, all right, do you know how I can get home? And he's like, no, no, I don't. And she's fine. She's still severely depressed. So she sleeps in, okay, because he lives in a cave. Um, No Name only has like a giant nest of like sticks. So that's what she's sleeping on. So she just is in the nest. And this goes on for a while. And No Name just keeps looking at her, and he's like, I think this girl's defective. Like he literally is like, what? Because he the only example of a human he has is Rhea, who's like a go-getter. She's on it, she's moving and shaking, she's out and about, she's living her best life. And so we have No Name being like, okay, well, why does this girl want to sleep like 90% of the day? And she just does, she's so lethargic. Like he thinks that she um is like physically ill, and he is wondering like if the spell that he cast to take on her pain didn't work. And so then they have a conversation, and she's like, no, what I have you can't take from me. So she hasn't told him like, hey, I just murdered two people, and I was thrown off a cliff as like punishment, and I honestly didn't want to be alive. So she kind of hints at it. She doesn't say I killed people, but she does say like, I wasn't expecting to survive, and to be quite honest, I don't know what to do with myself now that I'm alive. I don't know what to do. Yeah, and then No Name goes, well, you could give me your soul, that way you don't have to worry about it. And she's like, she literally, remember, Rhea gave it a bunch of thought. She was going, yeah, I don't know, forever's a long time. This girl, she's like, well, she's so depressed that she's like, okay, here you go. I don't want it. I don't care what happens to me. So he gets the soul, and now they're bonded forever. But he did not properly explain to her what that meant. So through the book, she starts to find out what that entails. Um, so as she's getting better, she's starting to trust No Name. And there is a scene where he goes out and she stays in the cave, and a giant snake creature breaks into the cave, and it tries to kill her. And No Name comes back and saves her. And so after that happens, she's kind of starting to have hard eyes. Heart eyes, not hard eyes. Heart eyes. And she decides that she's going to name him. So she names him Magnar. Magnar. Magnar, which means protector in whatever their language is. So he lights up. He loves it because now he's taking his job seriously, because now he's got her soul, so he's going to protect her forever, for eternity. This is his woman. He's over the moon. And they're like, okay, I have your soul. You're my girl. You named me. So now I'm going to take you to the cabin, because this cave isn't safe anymore. I'm going to take you to the cabin I've been building because I've been waiting for you, which is really cute. Okay, so he takes her to this dinky little cabin. It doesn't have windows or doors yet, or even rooms. So it's just like this shell of a house. But he was building it slowly with Orpheus's help, because again, his big brother was trying to help him get ready, because if his little brother was that serious about having a companion, he wanted to make sure that that poor girl who was going to settle for this stupid chump was going to have a nice house, or like at least be comfortable, because you know, in Orpheus's mind, living with No Name, now Magnar, it's not easy. There is a part in this book while hey Bruce, while they're still living in the cave. Hey Bruce. Where they're still living in the cave, where she Delora point blank asks Magnar, "Are you dumb?" And he says, "Yes, I am." I actually hear that quite a lot. Because again, he hasn't eaten that many humans, so there's like gaps in his thinking, and like he doesn't necessarily have like the same understanding as a Mavka that's eaten a bunch of people like Orpheus, where he pretty much is like a deep thinking being. So he's very, I don't know, he's very golden retriever. So it's very sad girl with a golden retriever man. So they're at the house now. Um, and they meet. Well, Delora meets Rhea and Orpheus. Rhea makes her a dress. At first, Delora's not feeling the vibes because she's been hurt so many times and she's been fat shamed, and she doesn't feel a lot of trust toward other people. Um, because his ex-husband called her fat right before she murdered him. But yeah, then they like things smooth over. They become buddies. They're helping each other out. Well, more like Orpheus and Rhea are helping Magnar and Delora out because um you know when you have like, I don't know. Okay, let me try to break it down like this. When you yourself are like an older responsible adult and you've started living your life, and you're seeing like a younger relative that um is clearly looking at the world with rose-colored glasses and trying to get their life started, and they don't even know the first thing about real life responsibilities. So you, as the responsible adult that cares about this dumb person, are going out of your way to help them settle in and try to figure their own life out. This is a very specific explanation, but that in a nutshell is how Orpheus and Rhea are treating Magnar and Delora, which props to them. Like, Orpheus is a wonderful big brother, even though he calls Magnar an idiot a whopping, I don't know, 3,000 times in this book and in the last book. Combined, 8,000 times. let me take a sip of my coffee. So today we have decaf Nescafe with a couple pumps of sugar-free almond roca Torani syrup and some sugar-free vanilla creamer. Oh, that's good stuff. I also just brought my mug warmer here so that I can rant and not drink cold coffee at the end. All right. So they move into this house. Delora meets her in-laws. They also meet the witch bitch. And the witch bitch is like, "You got married?" She's surprised. Again, Magnar is like, they infantilize Magnar so much. I think he's such a dumbass. So his own mother is like, "I didn't expect you to find a girl so soon." And then like she looks at Delora and she goes, "Are you good? Like, Magnar?" And Delora responds, "I actually really like Magnar, thank you very much. He's very kind," which he is. She's like, "He's very kind. He treats me great. I like Magnar." And everybody's like, "This girl likes Magnar." Because they can't believe it, because Magnar is so stupid. Oh my God. Okay. So things progress between Magnar and Delora to the point. Okay. So here's what happens. Delora and Magnar have um Magnar um does things with his fingers for Delora without knowing that's what he's doing, because she is like, hey, I'm yours, so you can touch me, and get to know me, because Magnar and her are starting to get close, and now she's starting to feel things. And when you're starting to feel things, you're starting to crave things. And so she's like, hey, you want to get to know my body? And he's like, yes, I've always been curious about how a woman feels. And so he does some explorations, and his hands go certain places. And again, he's not aware of like what he's doing. Okay? So Delora guides him, and she feels great afterward. And Magnar starts feeling things in his pelvic region that he has never felt before. And he is so terrified that he runs outside of the cabin and goes and hides in the shadows and takes a look at his junk. Like, he's like, what is this? Because mavkas don't like pee or poop. So the only reason they have that appendage is for procreation. And since he's never felt desire or a need to procreate, he looks at what's jutting out from his pants and he screams. Poor baby! He doesn't know what it is. And so then Delora and him don't talk for a couple days, and so she thinks that she like disgusted him, but really he was really into it, but he's afraid of what his body is doing. And so I believe, correct me if I'm wrong if you experienced this book, I believe he goes to Orpheus and is like, what is this body part? And I think Orpheus is the one that gives him like sort of a birds and the bees type conversation of like, you're a male, males have this part, and this is what happens. I don't think it's in the it's I don't think that scene is like explicitly detailed in the book, but I know that Orpheus has, or that Magnar and Orpheus have multiple conversations about like growing up as a mob guy. Like, think about it like a big brother and a little brother, and they're like orphans. So Orpheus is teaching Magnar everything there is to know about being an adult Mobka. So he tells Magnar what it is. It's your junk. And so now he's like, okay, I don't have a disease. I'm not dying. And so he goes back to the cabin, and then they Delora and him hash it out, and they things get steamier, and he and Delora smash. And again, I don't think Orpheus explained the logistics of like intimacy. So Delora teaches him what to do. And, as things are happening again, so kind of a plot hole. I don't understand. Okay, so if Magnar doesn't know what smashing is, why does he know the spell to rearrange Delora's organs so that he can fit? That's something that wasn't clarified for me. Maybe Orpheus told him about it when they had that side conversation that wasn't in the book. Let's say it was that. So Delora's insides get rearranged in more ways than one. And they're great. They're closer than ever. So then they're chummy, the four of them, Orpheus, Rhea, Delora, Magnar. So they go to hang out at wait, wait. No. Lies. Lies. Some oh, during the scene, Magnar gets so carried away that he scratches her up really bad. Like he kind of maims her because they're like Lord. Woo, get some holy water up here. Okay, they're going at it so vigorously that his claws come out and he like wrecks her. But she, in the heat of everything, didn't feel anything. But there's this miscommunication because he's like, oh my God, I hurt her. He absorbs her wounds because he knows how to do that. But he's so ashamed that he hurt her during intimacy. But she's like, I felt great. But they aren't in a place where they can talk it out. So he runs away. He literally runs away because he's stupid. So he literally runs away. She ends up at Orpheus and Rhea's place, and Orpheus is like, my brother told me what happened. He told me that you guys smashed and he hurt you, and now he's afraid to hurt you again, so he ran off. And she's like devastated. And then what happens? This bitch loses consciousness. She faints. She starts feeling ill. So now she's in a bed and she's like super weak and shit, and she's not doing great. And so Orpheus, which Mavkas apparently have, like, it's like velociraptors where they can like call out to each other, and it's got like, I don't know, it's like a, what do I want to say? Bluetooth? Wi-Fi? GPS? Sonar? They got something where he casts out a way, like he casts out a call and it goes out for miles. So he goes, ahooga, ahooga. And somewhere out in the wilderness, Magnar is like, that's Orpheus. So he runs. He runs back to Orpheus's place because he knows that Orpheus wouldn't be calling him if it wasn't serious. And he, like, in his gut is like, oh my God, it's my wife. So he makes it to Orpheus's place, and he sees that his wife is limp in the bed, can't even get her head up right, and she's just so weak, and she keeps drifting in and out of consciousness. So then I guess and the call also called the witch bitch. So mom comes in, and they're all freaking out. They're like, oh my God, what's wrong with Delora? Is she okay? And the witch bitch takes a look at Delora, and she takes a look at Magnar, and she goes, did y'all smash? And Magnar, being Magnar, is like, yeah. And then she goes, well, do you know what happens when you smash? And Magnar responds, should I know something else other than... And everybody collectively groans. And they're like, Magnar, you freaking idiot. And they're like, Magnar, you idiot. And so then they tell him that Delora is pregnant. And it takes him a really long time to understand what pregnancy is. I want to say that they sat there drawing diagrams as to what babies are, because he doesn't even understand the concept. Like, Orpheus understands that the witch bitch is his mom. Like, he knows, like, okay, this is the mother. But Magnar himself doesn't understand what being a family or mother or any of that like really means, because he hasn't eaten enough people to truly deeply understand the concept of anything. So he is just like, I created a life? And everybody's like, oh my god. Oh my god, Magnar, why are you so stupid? Poor Magnar. So anyway, he knocks up his wife. And the witch bitch informs them that the gestation of a baby Mavka is 30 days. It's one moon cycle. So this girl is going to experience a full 40 weeks of pregnancy in 4 weeks. And they're like, okay, well, you need to clearly buy more supplies. You need a baby prep. You got baby. You need a crib. You need diaper. You need everything. You're going to have a baby. You need to buy all this shit. And you need to go into the demon village to get it. But you got to do it now. Or wait. They said that it'll take like 2 to 3 days for her to start feeling like herself. Like once Delora feels like herself, y'all need to go to the demon village, get what you need, and then come back. And they do that. So Delora starts to feel better, well, after a couple days. And she takes the idea of being pregnant really well, because we find out that her trifling ass dead husband that she killed, and good for her that she killed him, he was, again, abusive, and he wanted a family, and she wasn't conceiving, and he was horrific to her because of that, and accused her of being the one that was not, her body was the broken body. And so then she hits it once with Magnar, and boom, she's pregnant. So now she knows it was never her. It was never her. He was the trifling ass bitch. Fuck that guy. Hell no. So, they go on to town. Oh, she's a phantom, right? So she gave him a soul. She gave Magnar her soul. So she's a phantom. So she's a ghost. So that means she sees ghosts. So while they're in town, I believe she sees the ghost of the dead husband, and she starts to feel like Edgar Allan Poe in The Telltale Heart. She starts to have crazy shit happen to her. She freaks out. But then, hi, Bruce. Hi, my son. Hi, baby. So then she's gonna pass out. Hi! Hello! I'm in a chair. I'm not even on a couch. How'd you get here? How'd you get here? How'd you get here? Take a look at this, y'all. Y'all see this guy? Bruce, baby. No, baby. Get you down. Thank you, baby. I call him a baby. He's like 14 pounds. He's still my baby. He's my baby. Thank you. So then they stay at the Demon Hotel for like a minute. I don't know why that's relevant, but they stay at the Demon Hotel. And then they pack up and they go home. And on their way home, they run into this ugly demon thing. And Magnar's like, I know you've been stalking us, so why the hell are you here? Get out here and talk to me. Hey, yeah, baby. No, baby. No, baby. Rose. No, baby. Pizza boys. No, baby. Rose. Sir. No. No, baby. Hey. Okay, so they're on their way back. And they are being stalked by a demon. And Magnar's like, bitch, get out from behind the bushes. I know you're there. You've been stalking us. So then he comes out and he's like, oh, I thought you were the ram-headed Mavka. Have y'all seen him? And he's like, the who? And the demon goes, well, the ram-headed Mavka. The demon king's after him. So we're hunting him. And Magnar goes, clearly no. I've got my head, I've got a fox head. I've got antlers. Oh my god, I haven't even explained what Magnar looks like. Sorry, y'all. I'm sure I probably inserted a picture in post at some point. But anyway, he's got antlers. He's scrawny because he hasn't eaten enough people, so he's on the slimmer side. So think like, I don't know, like Jacob Elordi. That one skinny Australian actor. beside the point. He comes out and he's like, I don't know any ram-headed mobkas. Well, he does, but like not really. He's like, I don't, not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't know that guy. So that's where it ends. Which, side note, the Demon King kind of feels thrown in here. You'll know what I mean in like a minute. Like, let's get into it. So they keep going. They go home. Delora actually bought some paint while she was out in the Demon Town. There's a cute moment where Delora paints Magnar's face and she kisses him. And she gives birth. She has the baby. And she experiences postpartum depression. She's afraid of her child because the child is just like a little snowball of black void because it hasn't eaten anything yet, so it doesn't have any features because Mavka, when they start eating things, they start to take on the features. So Magnar has a fox head because he was eating foxes. Foxes? Don't know. Orpheus has a wolf head because he was eating wolves. And so this baby is a void, doesn't have anything yet. And so she's afraid of it. And then she finds out that Magnar had been sneaking the baby to her while she was asleep because the baby was crying all the time. And he didn't know what to do anymore. And he realized that, and then after doing that, he figured out that the baby was not going to try to eat her because she had no reason to be afraid. The baby just wanted to be near her to stop crying. So then she gets angry at him, but then she forgives him because it's for their baby. She gets over being afraid of the baby. She loves the baby and names them Theodore. And the baby's pronouns are they, them, because until they've eaten a person, they have yet to acquire a gender. So, but she's named them Theodore. Whatever. Theodore. Who cares about gender norms, okay? Their name is Theodore. They have a baby. And stuff happens. And then at some point, we talk about the ram-headed Mavka. Well, guess what? He shows up injured on their doorstep. His skull is cracked. And if you know anything about Mavkas, because I've told you so much, you know absolutely everything there is to know about Mavkas, because I've done a great job explaining this to you. Is that if you cut off their head, that's how they die. Or if you made, if their skull is what keeps them alive. Once you fuck with the skull, they're dead. So his skull is cracked. And he's all injured, and he's in there on their turf. And the Demon King pulls up with his cronies. And the Demon King is like, hey, yo! Stupid Mavka. Give me the... Wait! Oh my god, rewind, y'all. Rewind. After they have Theodore, Magnar's so sick of being stupid that he eats some people. He actually begs Delora to let him go eat people, to let him eat some people because he's so sick of being stupid and he wants to be better for her and their child. And it's a cute emotional moment. She gives in. She's like, okay, fine. Eat the people. So he eats 7 people. I don't know why I'm counting. I think me trying to count helped me remember the number that I heard. Okay, he eats 7 people. And now he's got roided up. So now he's, instead of looking like Jacob Elordi, he's looking more like, I don't know, some meteor guy. So he's starting to look, because we said Orpheus was Andrew Garfield, right? Who do we got playing Magnar now that he's beefed up? We got Chris Evans in the house. We got Chris Evans in the house. He now has deeper thoughts, which, okay, when he begs Delora, she literally tells him, "No, I like you, stupid." Himbo, himbos for life. She was like, "I love you. I love you as a himbo. Stay this way because I am the brains in this marriage." Okay, okay. Fast forward. We're back at the Demon King going, "Hey, bitch, give me that body." But at this point, now Magnar's smart enough to know that that's his brother. And he understands the concept of family because he's eaten 7 people. So now he has a deeper understanding of what the hell's happening. And so he's like, I can't give you my brother. No. They're in a protection circle, okay? So the cabin, I said Magnar can cast spells. And remember, I explained this really well, okay? There's a protection circle around around their cabin. And also, by the way, while they were gone, Orpheus helped build the inside of their house because while Delora was pregnant, he wanted to make sure his sister-in-law had a nice home. So, Orpheus, we still love you. We still love you. Much is moving, you guys! Mama! Much! Good girl, Mama! Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say about Magnar? Or Orpheus? Are you Team Magnar? Much. Look at me if you're Team Magnar. Oh, she's Team Orpheus, you guys. She doesn't like stupidity. I should have known that from the start. She doesn't like me much either. Okay, so there's a standoff between the Demon King and them. The Demon King goes on and rants about how he wants to kill all the elves, which this is the first time I hear mention about the elves. Who the hell are the elves? Whatever. He wants to kill the elves, and he wants the demons to take over the world. He's in it for world domination. And while he's ranting and raving, and Delora and Magnar are looking at the Demon King, their baby crawls out of the circle of protection, and the Demon King essentially does a standoff, and he's holding the baby, and he's like, "I know how to kill Mavkas. I'm gonna kill your baby if you don't give me your brother. Give me your freaking brother." And so then they're having a standoff. And so Delora, the down-ass bitch that she is, she mans up with her quadruple D's and her big old booty and her big, big body. Beautiful, beautiful woman. This beautiful, voluptuous princess. Plus size representation unite. Okay, Delora's gorgeous. In my mind, she's played by Lizzo. She's beautiful. And so Delora pretends that she's always hated Magnar and is like, "Hey boo, I want to get with you and I will teach you how to raise that baby Mavka to do your bidding." And Magnar, it breaks Magnar's heart because he doesn't understand that, because she's doing such a convincing job. And then finally she like leaves the circle of protection, and then she grabs the baby, and then they do this, she's like running away and shit, and then finally she gives Magnar the baby while they're running around in the forest. She goes, "Save the baby. I'm gonna let the Demon King kill me, and then I'm gonna reappear," because she's a phantom, so she's technically not alive or dead. So if she gets killed, she'll just reanimate near Magnar, because I explained that really well. I did. So Demon King hurts her, kills her. Then she reappears, and Magnar, Delora, and baby are a happy family again. And then the ram-headed Mavka, the witch bitch, shows up again. She does, toward the end of this fight. And I'm like, "Bitch, where were you? Why couldn't you help your son? Your son zzz." And then she goes, "Oh no, there was an all-out assault on all the Mavkas, and Orpheus and Rhea were also in trouble, and I can't help all of you at once." Which goes to show where her allegiance lies if she went to go help Orpheus and Rhea and said, "Magnar, you're too stupid. So I'm not gonna help you. Survival of the fittest, bitch." Much is said about the joke that she left. Okay. So then their uncle wakes up with the crack in his skull. Apparently they can't fix the crack in the skull, so he's gonna die at some point. He's no longer like as invincible as he was. They have a nice conversation. And then some time passes, and Rhea and Orpheus show up with a big ass deer, and they're like, "Hey, I brought us some food," and they're like, "Oh, yay, nice." I would say if you like warm fuzzy family dynamics, I feel like you would enjoy this book because there's a lot of like scenes with the four of them, like getting to know each other, getting comfortable, bonding. That stuff is like they have a bunch of fun stuff like that. And so while they're not looking, baby Theodore eats the deer, and then he turns into a giant mavka because he's eaten. He's been eating a little bit here and there, but the big ass deer made him grow, and so now he's as tall as his dad. Taller than his dad? I think taller than his dad. And so now Delora's like, "Oh my god, my baby is a grown up." Keep in mind, she was pregnant for a month, and they probably were parents for like a month. And they haven't full on smashed like this since she conceived, because they were so afraid of conceiving again. But they've done plenty of other fooling around outside of their cabin while their baby was sleeping. I feel like that's important to Bruce. It's important to mention. Okay, sir? I have to bring it up because that's what the people are dying to know, is do they continue to smash? Yes and no. Okay, so then Theodore is giant, and the witch bitch shows up, and Magnar tells Delora, "Our son is grown. He needs to go out into the world." Brucifer, are you seriously messing with the toilet right now? Please, baby. Thank you. Okay. So the witch bitch and Magnar convince Delora. They're like, "It's time." So they say goodbye to Theodore, and Theodore goes off into the real world. And then that's the book kind of ends with them, like, now that Theodore is gone, they smash. And turns out that somewhere behind the scenes, I would love a behind the scenes like book about Orpheus and Magnar like being best friends or being brothers and talking about their wives and giving each other like that. I would have loved to see more of that. But anyway, I guess Orpheus teaches Magnar teaches Magnar about contraception and what kind of spells to cast. So they cast a contraception spell, and Delora and Magnar live happily ever after. And the ending of the book is them finally telling each other that they love each other. So that's that. Overall, I did enjoy this book. I feel like I enjoyed Orpheus and Rhea's story a little more just because Orpheus actually had some depth to him. Whereas this book, it just made me laugh because of how stupid Magnar is. And how it's like not a secret that he's stupid because everybody around him tells him he's so stupid. And so when he gains intelligence, I kind of don't like it because then I understand Delora's point. Like, I liked him as a himbo more. I did. And I also feel like the Demon King's shit was shoehorned in. Like the Demon King ain't got no beef with freaking Magnar. I keep wanting to call him Magneto. I'm surprised that didn't slip out. But yeah, like with Orpheus, I understand because Orpheus killed his wife. Well, Orpheus's wife killed his wife, and Orpheus and the Demon King's dead wife had it against Orpheus and wanted him out, like wanted him taken out. But they say that the Demon King wants to either kill all the Mavka or make the Mavka work for him because he wants to kill all the elves. And the Mavka are like, dude, fuck, what the hell? No, I don't want to work for you. So yeah, like I don't know. Because of that, I am going to stop following the Duskwalker brides. I'm happy at this point with these two books. I think I'm good. That's where I'm stopping. Now, if you are a fellow reader, listener of the Duskwalker Bride series, can you let me know if any of the other books are worth it? Or if I'm good stopping here? Thanks. But anyway, that is it. Thank you all for joining me on this story time Ratchet retelling. Oh my god. Thank you for joining me on this Ratchet retelling. Thank you for dealing with me and my cats. And again, like, subscribe, share if you think this shit was hilarious. Give me suggestions as to like other ridiculous books that you think that I should experience and tell you guys about. Because again, I am here as your stupid cliff notes. So if there's a book that you're interested in but don't want to take the time to read it and you want to know if it's any good, I'll tell you about it. Just let me know. Let me know. Anyway, thank you guys. If you made it to the end, still comment. Well, no. Comment himbos for life. Thanks. Thank you guys. Deuces.